how things can change from the afternoon to the evening. In the first game of the day, we were thinking of a score maybe around 150, 160, when at the end of 10 overs, a team is 54. In the second game, the way the team had started batting, in this case the Mumbai Indians, we were thinking, wow, 200, 210, maybe even 220. Where do we finish? 168. That's the beauty of cricket, isn't it? Here we are on Cricket Buzz Live. I'm in the company of Joy Bhattacharya, Zahir Khan. Total tables turn. I'm not going to talk about predictions right now because I got that one right yet again. But I'm not going to take credit for it because really it was not supposed to happen in either occasion.
No, amazing innings. It's the most topsy-turvy innings I've ever seen. Yeah. For 15 overs, the Rajasthan Royals seemed completely asleep. They didn't know what was going on. Suddenly they woke up and amazing, absolutely spectacular.
But they stayed in the game, I think. As a bowling unit, they stayed in the game. In spite of the heroics of Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan, both batted beautifully, I think. But credit to bowling unit, I think they stayed in the game, they hung in there, and what a sensation Jofra Archer is. I think is an exciting young prospect. We all have been waiting to see him play the IPL match, and he's announced his arrival in style. I think he's got everything. He's got that raw pace, can bowl Yorkers, has got good slower one and bouncer. I think it was,
I was
sensational
lucky to see him in Bangladesh up close and interviewed him a few times, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's got a bit of a sense of humor as they do from Barbados. But really, if you look at it, we were talking earlier about a bowling captain in a sense, and with Ben Laughlin out of the equation, there was Dhawal Kulkarni stepping up to the plate, not just with his bowling but with his seniority. He actually handed Jofra Archer the cap early on, and it was these two who made the difference. They woke up Rajasthan Royals.
Absolutely, I think, and as I was saying earlier in the show, that it's not easy for anyone to be not playing a match and then again coming back. So I think so from that point of view, I think you have to give credit to Dhawal as well, that he started well. He provided that early breakthrough, and it didn't look like he was bothered by him not playing the last game. I think that's very crucial because not many can cope up with this kind of treatment. I would say that just playing one game, not being part of the playing 11, coming and performing. I think the experience matters, I think, in these kind of situations, and yeah, as a whole, I think the bowling unit, it's not easy when team gets off to a decent start, to stay in the game and pull the game back. That's why I think as a unit, they've for that matter, Gautam also has contributed really well. So I think it was a bowling unit success to restrict Mumbai Indians. Then especially after the platform, which clearly shows that they are 20-25 runs short right now. They can still make a match of it. There is enough on the board, but the momentum is with RR for sure.
Also, I have to say that two things. One is definitely the bowling. The other thing was that one of the most crucial wickets out there was not of the bowling, it was a run out. And it's particularly interesting that Ajinkya Rahane was the man who dived. He had one stump to aim at, but the batsman was Rohit Sharma. Yeah, Rohit Sharma, because see, a bowler of Jofra Archer's class, okay, not many batsmen can hit him. Even in the IPL, there are 2-3 batsmen in every team maybe who can, tonk a guy like him with impunity. Rohit is one of those guys, and he wasn't there because he was run out, and that would have definitely cost him at least 10-15 runs.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a moment. In the previous match, we talked about the no ball being a moment. It doesn't always have to be controversial. In this case, it was that run out, and it came out of nowhere. It was Rohit's call. I don't think you can blame anyone for it, and it's just one of those moments that completely can change the match. 129 after 14 overs, and we were looking at the batting lineup. Imagine in the Rajasthan dugout, they would have also been looking at that lineup. The likes of Pollard to come, Rohit to come, both the Pandyas to come, and you're thinking, oh, can we restrict them to 190, 180? They've done really well.
No doubt about that. I think the momentum has certainly shifted. I mean, till that moment we were thinking that Mumbai is going to score 190, 185 for sure, but last 6 overs, I think they've just changed the momentum in their favor. Now for Mumbai to make a game out of it, the first 6 overs are very, very vital. I think they need early breakthroughs and need to create that pressure. Otherwise, to defend this kind of total, especially after knowing that 20-25 runs short, it's always a tough ask.
Reason why your Zahir Khan was saying 185 for sure that was his predicted number there. Joy Bhattacharya had 180, he had 185, I had 172, but we won't talk about that. Let's talk about Jofra Archer instead. I nearly called him Jeffrey Archer. I did it 3 times during the Bangladesh Premier League. I had to keep stopping myself. So it's Jofra Archer. He is born in Barbados, but he's got an English father, and of course he aspires to play for England. He needs to have that 7-year residency period, and not until 2022 can England hope to add him to their ranks. Let's have a look at some of his numbers, Jofra Archer. And there you see, that's his bowling figures. 12 dot deliveries, and this in the context of the game where the batsmen were running riot.
You know, and the other good news really for the IPL is 2 things. One is that this was in many ways a very boring start, because while Mumbai piled on runs, it didn't look spectacular doing it. It just happened, you know. And suddenly those last 6 overs woke you up. It was an electrifying play, and then watching possibly the best fast bowler in this IPL, and you know, we are missing Rabada and the likes of Rabada and Cummins, and to see somebody come there and bowl 145, 150, take wickets, it was fantastic.
Stark too, another name that's going to be
again
missing. But let's also look at, I mean, I know the last few overs have been all about Jofra Archer. Let's not forget the start that Mumbai got, and the very fact that they have got to what they've got. Surya Kumar Yadav, former captain of the team himself, of course, of the Mumbai Ranji team, he's really shown the different kind of role he was given up the order, where in KKR, not through any fault of theirs, he was coming in at number 6 and 7, he'd have 5 balls, 6 balls, 10 balls to prove himself.
Well, he's making use of the opportunity beautifully, I think. You know, the first opportunity which he got to bat at the top of the order, he scored 50. The next innings, he got a peach of a delivery, which is fine, happens. But this one again, like, you know, he's this season in the domestic as well, he's been batting beautifully, and especially those shots which he's playing to spinners, which is over extra covers, not an easy shot to play, I think, and because of that, he's able to put that pressure even after the power play to score runs at a decent pace, especially against the spinners as well later on.
And on the other end, of course, if you look at Ishan Kishan, we talk about cupboards not being bare. Lots of fast bowlers, spinners, of course, but the wicket-keeping cupboard is looking rich.
Oh, it's looking really rich. The best was Delhi's wicket-keeping cupboard last year. They didn't know who to, you know, they do any man. They so many keepers, and Ishan, I mean, great thing for him to come back. I mean, it looked really nasty yesterday and the day before, and now he's looking much better. And the fact that he's out there in the field, it's a relief. You know, he's really a special young talent.
A bit like Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan national team recently, I think, stepped on with 5 wicket keepers to play an ODI. Yeah. So getting to that stage as well. But let's try and assess where we are right now. Obviously 168 isn't what they would have had at least at the 12th, the 13th over. But if you look at what's happened at the Savai Mansingh Stadium, with 168 being the target, it's been around that score. 200 has never been achieved there. So Mumbai will actually go back saying that, okay, fine, let's not look at where we could have been. Let's look at these runs and how we can defend that.
Yeah, that has to be their attitude, because yeah, the momentum is with Rajasthan, but they have to say on this pitch, long boundaries, we have 2 excellent spinners, we have really good fast bowlers. Why not? I mean, today it could be their day as well. And remember, I mean, at one point Mumbai, the game was theirs completely, so they could say 2-3 overs and momentum will shift again. I mean, the whole IPL tournament is all about, you know, shifting in momentum. So if they get momentum, get a couple of wickets, who knows what will happen.
Let me ask the left arm quick sitting in the studio, will the left arm quick with the dodgy moustache be the one key for them?
Absolutely, I think. And Bumrah. They need early wickets for sure. You know, when you go on the field with the feeling that you're 15-20 runs short, the easiest thing and the quickest thing to get out of that kind of feeling is by taking early wickets. If you take the early wickets, you can build that pressure. First 6 overs are going to be crucial overs, because you don't want RR to get away with a flying start, because 168, if they score like 50-60 runs in the first 6 overs without losing too many wickets, you always know that to pull back the game from that situation is always going to be a difficult one. From RR's point of view, they will be looking to keep wickets in hand. I think that's the key. If they have wickets in hand, then they can create that kind of momentum which we have seen so far in the tournament. If you have wickets in hand, you can start taking the chances around 13th, 14th over. So they will look to get to about 100 runs around 13 over mark. That should be their strategy. But from Mumbai's point of view, I think early wickets is the key.
And Sanju Samson will be one of those players that didn't do too well in his last outing. But Sanju Samson versus mustachioed Mitch, 11 deliveries, 4 times he's got him out.
That is scary.
There you go.
God, I mean, I was complaining about the moustache, but that haircut should be banned as well. that haircut.
Make up your mind. Which one of the hair?
I mean, there's a caterpillar here, and there seems to be what seems to be some sort of insect on his head.
Get Mitchell McClenaghan in contact.
Yeah,
Joy for some grooming tips.
I am sorry. Yes, exactly. Zach, you're sitting beside me. Look at you now. That's the way you carry a beard and mustache. This is ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, there you go. Now we are talking about grooming tips here. It's going to be, can Zach do better than Mitchell McClenaghan as far as the wardrobe is concerned?
The tips that Zach needs to give him right now are the ones on the pitch, actually. First.
Hit the deck hard, use the variations well, use those slower ones well. I think Mitchell McClenaghan will stick to his strengths. That's what has been working for him, and his success rate in the shorter format has been really good because he keeps things very simple. In the middle overs, he'll run in as hard as possible. He'll look to hit the deck as hard as possible. Mix it up with slower one, but not too much of them. I think that should be his strategy. That has always been his strategy, and especially on this ground because of the long boundaries, those short balls will be more effective.
And bowling in tandem with the fizz. There'll be a good combination.
There'll be an interesting combination. Also, I think that though you have to say Rajasthan's just added to its batting, which Jofra is not a bean batsman either. He averages almost 35, almost 40, and that's a very decent average. That means you replace Laughlin, who's mainly a bowler, with an all-rounder. So their batting is also extended, and that should help them again.
An interesting thing to see is who is going to open the innings.
I was just going to say, not that you'd want to leave it to Jofra Archer. You'd probably find yourself in trouble if you're relying on Jofra Archer to win you the match. But this is what we have as the expected batting order. But that man down there at number 6 is the one we feel could possibly come up, should possibly come up to open the batting along with Ajinkya Rahane. Rahul Tripathi goes up there. Klasen's got a good record in that middle order along with Jos Buttler to provide that power. Ben Stokes is fine at number 4 and Sanju Samson is nicely settled into number 3.
I think they say that Rajasthan's middle order is one of the strongest in the league if you consider it. They have some really good firepower. Then Stokes, it's a mouth-watering combination. Stokes, Buttler, Samson, it's mouth-watering.
Even without Steve Smith being there, because that was obviously the original lineup with Smith in that middle order. Even if you take him out of the equation, they're still looking pretty good.
They are, I think, they should fancy their chances to get 168 for sure, and they have the batting lineup. They still need to figure out and reshuffle the batting order, though. I think they've still not figured out exactly what the combination they should be going with, because we've seen that they've been changing the opening combination as well. With Klasen coming in, they have option of opening with Buttler as well. So who knows? We might see Buttler opening the innings today, because Rahul Tripathi surely is not happening, and there's been changes in the first 2, so it might be Buttler today.
Yes, well, we'll only have to wait and find out. All it means is the mouth-watering prospect, because Mumbai, as we told you earlier with the points table, simply have to win to stay alive. They've been playing good cricket. They've been having close matches. This time around, they don't have too many runs to play with, but nonetheless, 167 still on the board. McClenaghan, Mustafizur Rahman, and the rest of them will have to go out there and do the job. We'll, of course, come back on Cricket Buzz Live to wrap it all with Joy Bhattacharya and Zahir Khan. I'm Gautam Bhimani. We'll see you very shortly on the other side of this innings.